are a product of our society. We are born and brought up as per the social norms that are in place to make sure we fit in. We live the lives that we expected to live, make the choices that we expected to make. And we get so caught up in this role that we never really bother to stop and question this paradigm. Which is why I distinctly remember the first time I hit the pause button, which ironically also happened to be the first time I pulled the throttle to a stop. That moment right there, I had never felt more alive. The smell, the sound, the speed, I'd experienced nothing like it. And that ride essentially wiped clean whatever chance I had of settling for a normal life. Because every decision I made thereafter was with the sole aim of doing something with motorcycles. So, when Royal Enfield shortlisted me along with other motorcycle enthusiasts from around the globe for this bolt-on build project, it was like life had come a full circle. I finally had a chance to build my own motorcycle. I mean, I could pick any motorcycle from the RE stable, and I had the creative freedom to do anything I deemed fit, customize it any way I want, as long as it could be easily reproduced by anyone who had the same bike. So we were essentially looking at off-the-shelf parts which are easy to source and zero modifications to the frame. The bike was a no-brainer. It had to be the Interceptor, it had to be chrome, and the build a Scrambler. For that is all I could think about since the first time I swung my leg around the Interceptor. Fell in love right away with its throaty exhaust note and all of that torque on tap. Couldn't stop thinking about all the colossal fun which was just begging to be had on a dirt road on this motorcycle. The Interceptor has 174 mm of ground clearance, but to tap into its potential, which stretches beyond the boundaries which structure its present design, we needed more. So our first aim was to increase the ground clearance to about 200 mm like most other ADVs. So we swapped the 18-inch front with a 19-inch XL rim so that we were not radically changing the geometry or the weight distribution, while still making it more capable to overcome obstacles when we take the path less traveled. In fact, even the Scrambler style exhaust, the idea for that came from the same school of thought, which is to unlock almost 25 mm of ground clearance by routing the pipes closer to the seat. And that design would also obviously help the Scrambler with its water wading capability. So we got it made from scratch from TNT Motorcycle, tested it. It will now go on sale in the next couple of weeks. Its free flow design also helped us shed about 13 kgs. Not just that, it opened the possibility of being able to extract more power and torque, which is why then we could go ahead with BMC performance filter as well as a stage 2 kit from Bike & Biker, which gets rid of the airbox cover so that more air can go in. To recalibrate the air-fuel mixture, we then went with a piggyback ECU from Powertronics, from Race Dynamics, as well as their Fuel-X Auto Tuner, a setup which allowed us to extract 4 extra horsepower and 1.2 Newton meters of torque on the rear wheel on our dyno runs at Race Dynamics. And then the last bit in terms of modifications to get the most out of the engine was the Ngk Spark Plug Kit from Bike & Biker, which includes 2 iridium spark plugs. You have resistor caps as well as racing cables, which help in improving the combustion So you get better acceleration, better fuel economy, and overall just better performance. With the exhaust and the engine modifications in place, we then turned our attention to upgrading the suspension for our off-road exploits. And the first name which came to my mind was YSS, considering that they were the official suspension partners for the same team which won the 2020 World Supersport 300 Championship, and the fact that they have already developed suspension for the Interceptor. So we went ahead with the same, which includes a fork cartridge kit upgrade which gives you preload adjustability, as well as their top of the line shocks at the back which are 100% fully adjustable. Once that was done, to make sure that we put this suspension upgrade to good use and of course put all of those extra horses down in a safe manner, we also upgraded the tires to Pirelli Scorpion Rallies, which I've used in the past and love them to bits. The next set of modifications were to the ergonomics to give me the confidence when I'm standing up and riding. So we swapped the handlebar with this one, attack handlebar from Barrel Exhausts, and it's a straight fit despite being 32 inches wide and 5.5 inches high. Doesn't require any modifications to the cables, which is very good. And then also the pegs, we swapped them to more off-road focused pegs developed by TNT motorcycles, which are wide enough to comfortably accommodate motocross boots and also provide you really good grip in the wettest of conditions. If you're gonna go off-road, you are gonna drop the bike. It's inevitable. So the next thing on the agenda was crash protection. So we went with bark busters, which were a straight fit on the attack handlebar. We went with these special engine guards which were developed by TNT motorcycles, keeping the pipe's design in mind. We got the sum guard from RE's massive list of accessories for the Interceptor, and last but not least, the radiator guard from Bike and Biker, which I think looks really, really cool. And as we were going off-road, we went all in and also procured a 45 teeth rear sprocket from Super Sprox, which is the same company which makes specialized sprockets for official teams like KTM and Honda at the Dakar. So they really know their stuff. And best part was it was a straight, easy swap with the Himalayan chain. With the functional part done and dusted, we could then focus on the aesthetics. So first up, we replaced the fenders with chrome ones to complete the chrome look from head to tail. We also swapped the headlight and tail light with LED units for that minimalist look. Also went for these Denali S4 lights to light up the darkest of trails on our night rides. And to finish things off, we went for this custom suede seat as well as leather grips from Trip Machine. I have to admit, there were a lot of nerves. I mean, this is my very first build, so I wasn't really sure if all of these parts are going to work. But all of those doubts disappeared the first time I took this out for a spin. Ah man, it was such a pleasure riding this. Such a big satisfaction that everything that we had put on it served its purpose. I mean, I'm very glad we went with the 19-inch front because the balance is still there, the geometry is not very different. So you're well connected with what the front and the rear are doing. The grip from the Pirellis is phenomenal. And also all the modifications we did to the engine, right? Especially the Fuel-X auto tuner from Race Dynamics works like a charm because the throttle response is fantastic. And not just that, it solves the question which all of you guys have been asking for so long, which is Scrambler exhaust looks fine, looks great, but it sure must be heating up a lot. Actually, it does not, because now with this state of tune and the engine running a little bit richer, the exhaust runs pretty cool. And all of this riding which I've been doing off-road, the exhaust really hasn't been heating up too much, has never really been an issue. So that was a big success. And it's something which would have never been possible if Royal Enfield wouldn't have given me this opportunity. And what a machine it has turned out to be, just as I'd imagined. But those are my thoughts, and I'm obviously biased because this project has been something very close to me. So I would like to know what you guys think about the Hare Scrambler, and how many of you would be keen to see your interceptors in this Scrambler avatar. Let me know in the comment section. Until then, ciao.